Okay, here we go, some hints for homework sheet 3. The first question, we need to draw the vector 2a add 3b's. So the first thing we need to do there is we need to take an a and add another a to the end like that. And then we take 1b, 2b's, picked the wrong one up, 3b's, and then once you've done all that, draw in the resultant vector. Should be fairly simple. Number 2, calculate the resultant. Well, the resultant just means add up. So all we need to do is add up the first numbers, then add up the second numbers, and then finally add up the third numbers. Okay, so U add V add W. Question 3. Now remember that these two lines here means they find the length of. However, the first thing we need to do is work out what 2p add 3q are. So 2p's is 2 times negative 3, 2 times 4, add on 3q's, that'll get you a vector. And then to work out the length of 2p add 3q, take each of these numbers, square them, add them together and square root. Number 4. Now it's difficult to show this on a two-dimensional screen. However, the first one you have to find is where it's with A, the midpoint of the line joining I and J. So there's your I here, there's your J here. So the first one we're finding is this green one here. Okay, so how do we get to that? Well, we go along the front, halfway, we don't go any in, and then we go up. So the coordinates of that point, for point A, will be so many along, you're not going any in, and then so many up. And then similarly for B, which is the centre of face IJ NJ, this one here, in the middle. Okay, same process again. We go along, we don't go any in, and then we go up half the previous distance. So along, none up, half the previous distance, and then to find the last one, we go along, we go in, we go up. Question 5, really simple question. Solve this equation. So you put the first bracket equal to 0. Sorry, let's fix that. First bracket equal to 0, second bracket equal to 0, and then work out each one. Question 6, that's the one where we need to use the formula negative b plus or minus square root b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. So identify your a, b and c. Now your a is the number before the x squared, the b is the number before the x, and the c is the number at the end. Plug all of these numbers in to the formula. Remember, it says round to 1 decimal place, so get your unrounded answer and then round it off for your final answer. Question 7. Determine the number of roots. Well, from that great big formula we had before, we're looking at just the part inside the square root, the b squared minus 4ac, which is known as the discriminant. Okay, so we're going to take our a, b and c again, and we're going to plug them into the formula. And remember, if it's bigger than 0, there are. If it's equal to 0, there are. And if it's less than 0, there are. Okay, so these conclusions here you'll get from your classwork jotter. Question 8. Calculate the length of side x. Now it's a right angle triangle. We can see the right angle there. So that means it's going to be Pythagoras. And Pythagoras says that the two short sides squared and added together makes the long side squared. So x add 7. Wait a minute guys, wait a minute, I've just noticed. I've got the 12, oh, that's wrong. That should be 13, sorry. And that should be x. Right, okay. My picture now matches the one in the question. Okay, so let's go back to Pythagoras. Pythagoras says that the short side squared, so x add 7 squared, plus x squared equals 13 squared. Okay, so remove the brackets here. X squared, add 14x, add 49, add another x squared equals 169. Now what you do at this point is you get the 169 over to the other side, you tidy it all up, and you get so many x squareds, so many x's, and a number equals 0. How do you solve that? Pair of brackets. Factorise it. Put it equal to 0, and then you're back to question number 5. Question 9, nice and simple, simultaneous equations. I'm going to try and get these numbers here identical, so I'm going to times the first one by 1, I'm going to times the second one by 3, and because we've got a plus here and we've got a minus here, then that means I'm going to do a great big add. That's going to tell me what x is. Substituting is going to tell me what y is. Okay, hopefully that's good this week.